Hello and welcome to the Cubbears Fan Report for April the 25th, 2025. And the first day of the draft is over. And the Cubs are in first place, and I'm going to talk about the Bears, who have won the offseason with their head coaching hire and their free agent signings and shoring up the offensive line. So what were they going to do in the first round? Because a lot of people thought they don't need to take an offensive lineman because they've got some good offseason additions. And by the time the Bears drafted at number 10, Will Campbell was gone, Armand Membo was gone, Kelvin Bakes was gone. Those were some of the first round graded offensive linemen. And a lot of people mocked them going to the Bears. And a lot of people thought Tyler Warren, and I saw a few highlights of him. I wasn't thinking about a tight end with Cole Kmet, and I thought, okay, that Tyler Warren guy's probably going to be the guy, because either that or a running back. And they ended up drafting a total surprise, Colston Loveland of Michigan. And everybody was shocked, but everybody liked the pick because he can do a lot. He's a big guy from Idaho who used to brand cattle in the morning before school, and he knows how to handle the cattle. He can block, he can run. And I watched a lot of videos of him last night, and he's got a good highlight reel. He can catch, he can break free, he can catch long passes, not just short passes. He's not a guy just going to go out and turn around at 5 yards. He's a guy who's going to do a stop and go and beat a corner and play some slot. He's going to be a great complement to Cole Kmet. And he's big, he can block, and because Ben Johnson was working as an offensive coordinator in Detroit, he was familiar with the Michigan guys, and he's a Harbaugh trainee who we expect big things from. So I think overall it's a good pick, and it got a good grade. And the Bears picked 3 times tonight, 39, 41, and 72. A lot of speculation about what they're going to go with, but they've got a lot of options. They can draft the best overall talent. They don't have to lock in to a specific position. They've got some flexibility. They're going to make the team better. It's either an edge, a running back, or some more offensive line help. They're going to draft the best guy. That's what I can count on. I'm not going to say who the best guy is because I'm not a scout, but I like what they've done so far. So while we're on the subject of the Cubs and the Bears, because this is the Cubbears Fan Report, and I am Mark Bertman, your Cubbears fan reporter, and I thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please leave a comment and like and subscribe. I don't want any money. I just want comments. And even if you don't like my mustache, I don't care. I mean, if you got to make fun of me, that's fine. I was busy last week in the Gulf Coast of Florida and listening to all the speculation, but I didn't want to speculate. But the Cubs really were going to disappoint me. On Tuesday night, I was out and watched the Cubs blow a lead, and I turned the game off. I went to my hotel right before bed. I said, I think I'll double check. And the Cubs pulled it out. I think they won 11-10 and won extra innings. They beat Los Angeles twice, even with a makeshift bullpen. But they were close games. I think they were both one-run victories, and they held up, and they won. The Cubs are in first place at 16-10, having won 2 in a row over the Los Angeles Dodgers. They expect the schedule will get easier. The Cubs were reported to have the most difficult schedule of any team, and they won 4 out of 5 between Arizona and Los Angeles in Chicago, and they survived a road trip between San Diego and Los Angeles, and actually came out of it at 500. That was a tough task, and what I'd like to see where it goes when it gets easier. But they've got a really good return on their trade of Kyle Tucker, who's got 7 home runs already and is hitting .314. He's a threat if he maintains those numbers to win the Triple Crown. This was a good pickup. They got rid of Cody Bellinger as a result, and nobody's missing Cody Bellinger. He did not put up those kind of numbers. So, other highlights, Pete Crow Armstrong has 5 home runs, and he's hitting .294. That's the guy who went hitless in his first stint. That guy can play. and he's a firecracker, and he's hit all these home runs. I was worried he was putting the ball up in the air too much, and he needed to do it more on the ground. But he knows he's going to do what he needs to do, and he is a pistol. He is a guy who, once he gets on base, you can count on the extra base, and he's incredible. Seiya Suzuki has 6 home runs. Michael Busch has 5 home runs, and Carson Kelly, nobody talked about him. He's got 6 home runs himself. So the Cubs are producing on offense, and their weakness last year was the bullpen, which they're still working on, and the other weakness was they couldn't hit when they needed to. I was told when I was in Las Vegas the best bet was to bet the under when the Cubs were playing. That's not true this year. I haven't put in a single bet on sports this year, and I'm glad I didn't want to do the under because they're going over big time. They're giving up some runs, and they need to shore up that bullpen, and I think the bullpen's going to get better as the schedule gets easier. They play Philadelphia today at 1:20, and that's my plan to watch that game and listen to more speculation and watch the draft tonight. I was bowling last night, so I had to go between my terms bowling to see who the Bears would draft, but he took so long announcing all the loss of Steve McMichael, Walter Payton, although Steve McMichael was a great guy, and it's unfortunate that he passed, and of course Virginia McCaskey. The Bears have had some key people who have passed away, and they were great contributors to the team, so there's been some sadness. But the thing I like about the Bears is they're one of the last family-owned teams in the NFL, whereas a lot of the teams are corporate-owned or owned by big businessmen who don't value the sport as much as the Bears did. Virginia McCaskey was the daughter of Papa Bear and George Halas, and I got a GSH on my jersey here. That's how you know it's a good jersey, because you got the GSH, and that's her father. So the team stays in the family. There was speculation as to whether they would sell, but I think they're going to keep the team and keep it a family business, and that's a great thing. This is the Cubbears Fan Report for April the 25th. Don't forget my sponsors at Robin Hood Brewery, where I plan to go this evening and have a microbrewed beer. And also, if I get hungry, I'll go over to Taylor's Place in Burnsville, which is just up the road from where we are in Iuka, Mississippi. But you can take me out of Chicago, but you can't take the Chicago out of me. My name is Mark Bertman. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Especially, let me get up closer so you can see that crazy mustache, because I was in Florida and people were like, wow, what a mustache. And I saw other people mustache. We almost formed a mustache club. But anyways, Cubbears Fan Report. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.